Hello, I'm Maddie, and thank you for coming to my capstone presentation this morning. It's safe to state that music has had an influence on almost all of our lives. Although some more than others, we all know the feeling of listening to a song that we truly love and that wave of satisfaction that rolls over us as we hear it. Whether we are belting the lyrics in the car with friends, trying to relax to some mellow jazz, or listening to a slow ballad when we're down in the dumps, music does drastically affect our everyday lives. My personal relationship with music started from a very young age. Growing up, I was exposed to various genres and was able to discover my own taste fairly quickly. Singing and dancing soon came into the picture for me as they were my primary pastime as a child, and my parents enrolled me in vocal and dance lessons soon after noticing this. Here's a picture of me singing at my first ever live audience performance at the West Tisbury School Coffee House. Thought I would include that cute blurry picture. Um, as time passed, my love for all things music only increased. As we all grow up, life continues to throw more curveballs that we have no way of anticipating. Everyone has their way of coping with these issues, and it became clear to me at a young age that music was my outlet for helping me navigate my way through the feelings we all experience as a rite of passage. Shortly after high school began, writing music became a hobby I ventured into as well. However, the first time I completed a song in totality was not until the beginning of my junior year. That day was the catalyst for my songwriting passion. Being interested in the unique idea of a capstone project for my senior year, continuing to do what I love and making it into something I can share with others was a great project option for me. I decided to push myself to complete an album of songs for this project, along with expanding my knowledge on how songwriting works, popular techniques in the field, and researching how music affects humans in general. Not only would I be setting a date to finish a personal goal I was already working towards, more importantly, I wanted to push myself to share it with others. I would say that this has been the most difficult part of completing this project. As someone who wants to continue to share music I create, this was an inevitable obstacle that I needed to face. This album I present to you today is compiled of 8 completed songs I've recorded on my iPhone, and here is the list the titles of the songs. My original goal was to have the album recorded professionally, but unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 situation, that became something that was no longer attainable, as I couldn't meet with people who have professional recording studios any longer. This also meant that I haven't been able to meet with people to finish the production of the songs. So the little sections that you will hear today will just be me playing either piano, guitar, ukulele with my vocals. I do have a rough idea of how I want the finalized products to sound production-wise, but it's still a work in progress as of now. The songs are stripped down to their melody and chords right now. Though an unpolished product is disappointing, I still plan to record and produce the album completely when I'm able to release it and onto major music platforms such as SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Music. As for the process of completing this project, luckily I had a good head start as I already begun writing before this class, and my songwriting process varies quite a bit from song to song. For some, I will write the idea down and either revisit it and begin to expand, or begin coming up with the lyrics or melody as the idea comes to me. For others, a certain phrase or sentence will spark a song idea, and I will expand from there. Sometimes, I will write all the lyrics for a song and revisit creating the chords and a melody at a different time. Another way I make songs is finding a chord progression and rhythm that I like and coming up with a melody and lyrics that I think fit the chords. And there are still a few more ways I end up completing a song. Although the process happens in many varying ways, I always start a song when I know I have enough time to sit down and finish it completely. After that initial first draft, I can revisit the song a different time to edit it and make sure that it's exactly how I want. I find that making sure I write the full song initially leads to a lot less abandoned song ideas, And although it can be hard sometimes, it's the most effective technique I have found. And a source of guidance in my songwriting process has been Joanne Cassidy, my vocal coach since a young age, and a well-known musician and teacher around the island. This is a photo from when I was very young, when I first started lessons. And she writes music as well and has given me some really great advice on songwriting in general, as well as specific songs. In fact, Joanne was the person that originally told me how progressive it can be to write a full song in one sitting to get the idea completely on paper and edit it later if necessary. This has really changed my perspective on how I write music and significantly improved my ability to carry out an idea the way I envisioned it. I believe this technique is so helpful because we can quickly lose the specific feeling or perspective from when the original idea is born if we only write down one verse or one chorus. And this makes it harder to emotionally put ourselves back into the place we were when it was started. My most important discoveries throughout the process of creating this album of songs would boil down to 3 main points. The first being asking myself the essential question of, why do I even want to write songs? The initial answer seemed clear. I had sung my whole life, and music was always a passion for me. This is the simple answer to my question, but with some more thinking, I was able to dig deeper and realize the importance of understanding why I truly wanted to write songs. The truth is that there are many answers. I write songs because I feel things that I can only express through music when I know that just words can't do the job. I write songs because I love performing and I want to expand the ways that I can do that. I write songs because I want people to hear them and understand my same emotion. I write songs as a form of therapy. I write songs in an attempt to put myself in other people's shoes. I write songs to express my opinions about things that I feel passionate about. I write songs to get things out that I know I could never actually say to people. I write songs in hopes that it will help people understand what's going on in my head. I write songs because music has been my outlet for as long as I can remember, and there came a time when I should start to create my own. I know I've listed quite a few answers, and those don't all apply to every song I write. But thinking about all of the reasons that this is my most enjoyable pastime, even when it can be frustrating and difficult, has truly aided me in understanding why I should share it with people and how both parties could benefit from that. It is clear from what I said a few moments ago that a good portion of my motivation stems from wanting people, whether specific people or in general, to understand the message I'm singing about. Along with that, others would benefit from hearing my songs because although some of them are about specific situations in my personal life, anyone can relate to the feeling or lyrics or both of the message or messages that a song is portraying. From personal experience and speaking for the majority of people, sometimes a song seems as though it is speaking exactly to what you feel. And I know that feeling can be more comforting than anything else sometimes, and that's why I want people to hear my music. This smoothly brings me to my next point, which is the importance of relatability. I've realized that there is a difference between making music purely for my enjoyment and making music that I'm willing to share with the world. Sharing my songs makes the equation no longer just between me and my instrument. Sharing them means that I need to take accountability for whatever I'm saying and understand that making music that will connect to others and that people will understand is extremely essential. No one wants to listen to a song that they don't like, and oftentimes we don't like a song because we can't relate to it in any way. Going back to my first point, understanding why I was writing music in the first place also made me realize that I had to write from my perspective as well as the listeners. This means implementing language and feelings that I know people will understand and will be able to relate to. In doing this, I have shifted my equation to include the listener, which I've come to understand is one of the most important parts of songwriting. My third and final main lesson that I've learned during this project is the importance of having background knowledge on the scientific side of music. Obviously, to be able to write music, one needs to have a background somewhat in music theory and some instrumentation. However, that's not the scientific side I'm talking about. I'm talking about the psychological effects music has on the human brain. This is something I had very little knowledge of prior to beginning my capstone project, but in doing research on how music affects our minds and why people love it so much, I have completed the big picture of music and its role in my life, others, and societies as a whole. What I have learned is that listening to music actually can change the hormones in our brain to drastically affect our mood or feelings. Dopamine levels often spike when people listen to songs they love, and this is because music is associated with the pleasure center of the human brain. This means that music can seriously affect the way we feel and the specific emotions that can come with a song. This probably doesn't come to a surprise, as most of us have used music as a way to manipulate our feelings. Music gives people the opportunity to regulate our emotions, as well as they have a strong correlation to memories in the brain. Music can even have a noticeable effect on the listener's behavior while consuming a specific type of music. For example, studies have shown that more upbeat music while driving will typically cause people to speed more compared to listening to mellow music while driving. One study in 1999 consisted of playing French or German music in the drink section of a supermarket. The results showed that when French music was playing, significantly more French wine was sold, and when German music was playing, more German wine was sold. This shows us that not only does music affect us in the way that we're aware of, but it also can affect our subconscious significantly. These are just some of the very interesting points that I've learned in my research that has given me a much greater understanding of how music works and why it is important to people in general. All in all, I've thoroughly enjoyed creating this group of songs, and I'm nervous but mostly excited to share them with more people. Doing this has helped me personally understand so much more about myself and others, and I'm very grateful to be given the opportunity to create this album. In the future, I do plan to professionally record and produce this album and release it when I'm able to. I want to continue to make music throughout my life as I've grown to understand how essential it is to me and others. I thank you for joining me and listening to my capstone project today. And now I'm going to perform some snippets of some of my original songs. So, the first song, I'm going to sing a little, just the part of the first verse. This song is called Rainy Days, and this is one of the first songs that I wrote. I only miss you on rainy days, the only time that I see your face. I get the feeling like I wanna cry, but all my tears were stolen by the sky. So that's a little bit of that one. And next, I only have time for small snippets, unfortunately, but the next song I'm going to share a little part of is called Clean. Scrub me clean of you, rub off what I need to lose, and don't come back to make me dirty. Stay where I can't see you, far away so I won't be me. Let you fall into the drain, because that's where you belong. So that's the first verse of that song. And next one I'm gonna sing a little bit of is called Brown Velvet Dress. This one's on guitar. Please bear with me. I'm new to playing the guitar, but here is some of Brown Velvet Dress. Big house on a hill, with a bright red door, and it always to. But we never go there anymore. And it doesn't look how I remember. No, no. But then again, I don't either. So that's part of that song. And next one is on the ukulele. And this one is called Questions. Hey baby, it's me. Can you give me a call when you've got the chance? I got a couple of questions I just wanna ask you in advance. I know it's late and you knock out at 9 o'clock, but I just gotta get this off my chest and make it all stop. So that's a little snippet of that song. So those are 4 of the songs that were on the set list originally. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I appreciate it, and I hope you learned something new, or that it made you want to listen to some more songs. Hopefully they will be out soon. And thank you so much.